Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Now, as you can see, I've got the ugly mug once again, Eric Glass. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. It's a face only mother can love, right?
We're not doing radio, but maybe we should. But anyway, Eric, we were discussing this topic for a little bit, and you came up with it, and it's bigger watches for bigger guys, bigger wrists.
Absolutely.
I know the big watch craze is a little passé nowadays. We're coming a little back down to earth, rightfully so, in my humble opinion. But there are a few occasions where I think a larger watch can really work. Now, you guys know my style, but you may not know Eric's style too much. So the watches on the table here are watches that Eric picked out. And let's discuss them. Bigger watches for bigger guys. What are we talking about?
Absolutely. I mean, first let me start by saying, I'm 6'3", I weigh 250 pounds. I have a 8-inch wrist. Mm-hmm. So like a 40 millimeter watch or even smaller kind of looks like a toy on my wrist. And maybe some people out there have the same problem that I have. And so, I mean, sometimes when I'm wearing a watch, I want people to see it. I want people to recognize it. Like, ooh, what's that? What is he wearing? And if I'm wearing a small little teeny little watch, I mean, you can't see it. So
I'm going to interrupt you there. I actually don't mind wearing like a 36, 38 millimeter, but I totally get where you're coming from. Sometimes I just want a more substantial piece.
A little girly watch.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, once again, the great thing about watches and why they make so many different watches is preference, style, and what people want. So what Fed likes and what I like, obviously, are two different things. So
guys, if you thought I had quote-unquote boisterous taste, wait until you see Eric's picks.
And I look forward to reading and responding to all of your comments. So let's get started, shall we?
All right, so what are we picking first?
Well, let's start right here with the big boy in the middle, the JLC Master Diver.
The Master Compressor Diving Pro Geographic U.S. Navy SEAL Limited Edition. Whew, that's a mouthful.
Not only is it a big named watch, it's heavy.
Wait, hold on. Mr. Mosso, is that correct? Before I look at you off camera.
Clean pass.
Yeah. It's a clean pass. All right, we're going to keep that in the video just because, in case you didn't know, that took me about 5 cuts right there to remember that full name.
Yeah, and it's not only a hard watch to say the full name, but you have to have a big wrist and maybe be a big guy to wear it because this thing weighs close to a pound.
It's got the mechanical depth gauge, the Master Geographic feature. It's a compressor-style case with this fantastic articulating rubber bracelet.
Well, let me tell you what, there's nothing better than being under the water, looking at these beautiful fish, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's 3 o'clock in Japan. I need to know that. It's important.
And you're going to be looking at these beautiful fish underwater with a solid gold limited edition wristwatch.
Look, I'm not just trying to impress the ladies out there, but the fish are important too. I want them to know that I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay.
You want the fish to know that you're balling, essentially.
Right, exactly. What I really like about the watch, I like its size. I like to be able to feel like I'm wearing it on my wrist. It is a little heavy, I won't lie. It's definitely a big chunk of gold. I just think it's cool looking. I like the look of the watch. I like the feel of the watch. I like the fact that it's big, and when I'm wearing it, people go, they're like, what are you wearing? What is that? And they're intrigued. And being that I am a sales guy, I like to start conversations. So if you're the kind of person that likes to get people to have a conversation with you, or you need something to start it up,
it's the right kind of watch.
It's definitely the right kind of watch.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I think the watch has a ton of personality. I would probably wear it. It's not my pick, personally, but I think it's certainly an interesting piece. And of course, Jaeger LeCoultre does make fantastic mechanical watches. It's a very prestigious brand. We don't have to talk about JLC any more in depth on this channel because if you're watching Watch You Want Inc., you've had your education on JLC from my colleague Tim Masso. So, let's not step on his toes, but it is a very well-made watch.
It is a very well-made watch, for sure. I picked it for many reasons, but the
look
is really what I chose for.
All right. Well, since this is your show and your 3 watches, what are we going with next?
Next is going to be the Hublot Spirit of the Big Bang.
Oh, man. Okay. And this is this one right here, the tonneau case.
It is.
Ceramic and titanium.
Ceramic and titanium.
With an El Primero in it.
That's correct. So, I mean, some people that when I talk about Hublot are like, oh, they don't use quality movements, they don't use this. But, I mean, in this day and age, Hublot's really stepped up their game with their Unico movement, which is not in this watch. But
it's not in this watch, but this watch does have the El Primero.
It does, right. That's what I'm alluding to. It does have the El Primero movement in it. And, I like the shape of this watch. If you buy an Hublot, you're used to seeing the regular Big Bang. It's big, it's stylish, it's bodacious. But if you like Richard Mille and you don't want to spend $100,000 for Richard Mille,
Well, that's the thing. This does not look like a Hublot to me. This kind of looks like a Richard Mille.
it totally does. And I won't lie, that kind of plays a little bit to why I like it. I just happen to think it's really cool. Hublot was on the cutting edge of design, material use, the use of different kinds of materials with other materials. I mean, think about what put them on the map. Rose gold and rubber together. That was like passe. No one would have thought of doing anything like that.
Fair enough, and that applies to the Big Bang. But you pick this watch, so people would go up to you and be like, "Oh, that's a nice Richard Mille." That's essentially why you picked it.
Maybe just a little bit.
Okay, so
maybe
it's
just a
cheating.
little.
You're
Okay,
cheating.
I'm a cheater. Okay, you got me. Sue me.
Yeah, well, so that's disqualified. So why don't we move on to number 3, because everybody knows I don't love homage watches, and essentially that's why you picked it. So disqualification.
Oh, well, I mean, if that's how you want to be, I still like it. I would still rock it. I would tell people it's an Hublot. I'm not
I'd
going,
wear
hey,
it
look at
too.
my Richard Mille, even though it's an Hublot. I mean, come on. I would never do something like that. But yeah, I mean, I like it for those reasons. For those
sure.
reasons, yeah. And for the next piece, this speaks to me. I'm growing up.
All right.
I was really into weightlifting and working out. I played football. And for those who don't know, what's sitting right here to my right would be, I have to get into character for this one, so please bear with
You're
me.
not going to do this.
48 millimeter titanium Audemars Piguet.
That is a horrible Arnold impression.
Well, I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger. What do you want me to tell you? It's not a Tuda. It's an Audemars. I'm glad I can make you laugh, Fetty. I take life seriously, but life's too short to be taken seriously all the time.
All right, well, in all seriousness, this is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore limited edition.
Limited edition T3 comes with all the movies. If you like
Terminator 3. by the way,
Yeah, I mean,
guys.
if you like Audemars and you like Arnold, maybe this is the watch for you. It's one of the reasons why I picked it. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love the sheer size of this watch. I mean, Gerald Genta design on a massive scale. That is the best way to describe
but
it.
Eric, I don't mean to give you a hard time
Please
today.
give me a hard time today.
I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm a big Terminator 2 fan. I do like AP. This is just not for me. It does not feel right. It's too big. It's too unwieldy. I love that they did it, but man, guys, I'm ostentatious. I'll put my hand up and admit it. This is too much.
Get through the chopper,
So it's the connection with Arnold. That
It is,
really makes-
Look, I like AP. I love the Royal Oak. It's one of my personal favorites. If you look at my bio on the website, it says Royal Oak Offshore is not the Offshore. Sorry, the Royal Oak regular chronograph. Just the regular Royal Oak is my personal favorite. The fit and finish of the bracelet is one of my personal favorites. I like this watch because it's big. It's crazy big. It's massive on a massive scale. And the Arnold thing is just kind of like,
Well, you can make accents while wearing this watch. You can't do
yeah.
an
I mean,
Arnold
people are like,
impression.
what is that? I can go right into my really bad Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation, and people can poke fun and make fun all they want. But it is, watches for me are about fun. It's about style. It's about
Self-expression.
yeah. That's exactly it. It's about self-expression, and for me, like. How do I best put it? I like to be ostentatious. I want to be out there. So, I mean, I'm going to wear something that's got color. I'm going to wear something that's big. I'm going to wear something that gets people to talk to me. And I like...
For a guy that, I'm listening to you and we have very similar tastes, it sounds like, these 3 picks, I mean, the JLC I'll definitely wear, but that Hublot and that AP, man... maybe in the dark I'd wear them. But fair enough. Different strokes for different folks.
Look, this is not something I would wear every day. I agree with
Don't
you.
lie. Of course you'd wear it every day.
I would not wear this watch every day, but it'd be great in your collection of things, of all things when collecting watches. People collect watches for many different reasons. Some people collect watches because they like the movement. They want to collect a series. They want to do many things. So sometimes you just want to be out there and you want to be different. So it's nice to have different stuff in the collection.
And that's the point. Guys, just because I don't like something doesn't mean it's not a good watch. Just because Eric likes something or doesn't like something. I mean, this is all very much based on our personal opinions, and that's the beauty of collecting watches. There's so many styles, so many types. I mean, my collection, actually is not that ostentatious, even though my tastes are. You know, stuff like this, yes, it doesn't necessarily speak to me. I'm more of a precious metal kind of guy. But there's so many choices for so many wrists and so many tastes. And that's what makes this hobby great.
I mean, I suppose I could have mixed it up and put a little bit of stuff that's not so out there, but I figured if I'm going to go out there and I'll put some big watches together, I wanted to have a little bit of fun with the video. I wanted to hear what you guys think. I'm certainly open to down below. I want to see your comments. I want to know, what are you wearing? Why are you wearing it? If we do the show again, what do you want to see? Let's talk about different things. You know, I want to hear what the people out there are wearing and what they like and why.
In fact, guys, if you were forced, now there's no cheating, if you were forced to pick one of these 3 watches, which would you pick? Comment below and let us know why. And on that note, guys, please check us out on Instagram. That's @WatchYouWant, a link in the description below, where you can see some more crazy watches that Eric may or may not like, or something a little bit more classic a la Tim Masso. You never know what you're going to find on our Instagram. And thank you so much for watching another episode of Federico Talks Watches, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.